did mention social media. So, because social media is PR, 1,000%. Social media is essentially just PR with a mouthpiece.
Yes.
So talk to me about what PR is like for your very own podcast.
So for my own podcast, I've definitely struggled a lot with social media and struggling with what I want to put out and what I want to do. In the current place that we're out, I post an episode graphic every week with like a picture of our guests and kind of talk a little bit about it. And then my other main thing is something that I do where I say it's hashtag Tip Tuesday. And I kind of share a quote from the guest that week. And then the other, I always post the graphic, the Tip Tuesday graphic, and then I post kind of 2 more photos in between just to break it up. And so it looks kind of like a checkered board on my feed. But those 2 posts can be anything from, here's a guest we had, this is what they're doing now, here's what I'm up to, this is what PR looks like for me. And that's definitely something that I'm looking to expand and work on, is that I want to integrate more video, and I want to integrate more of the actual podcast into the social media platform. Whereas currently, like right now, it feels like it's just about me. But PR for podcasts and social media for podcasts is, I think, the easiest way for someone to get the word out right away that they started a podcast, because there's hashtags. And if you know how to kind of work the algorithm a little bit, you can gain followers pretty quickly and you can create a pretty niche audience right away. And then I also use social media to pitch guests, where I reach out to guests on their own social media. And I'm just like, I reach out to companies and I'm like, hello, is there anyone like from your company that would want to talk to us? I reach out to people that have established PR social medias and I'm like, hey, do you want to come on and talk? And so I kind of use PR as I use social media as my pitching tool, and I use social media to promote my show, but I always think there's room for improvement.
There's always room for improvement. I bet you're very successful on LinkedIn.
I love LinkedIn, but I need to use LinkedIn more.
All right, so which platform is the most effective?
Instagram right now.
Instagram, yeah. Young people, yeah, Instagram. I love Instagram. I don't love it. I love the memes on Instagram. I use Instagram for 2 things: sending memes to my friend and texting my girlfriend. That's it. That's all I use it for. The occasional obligatory post like, hey, here's my beer, or whatever. So which platform is the hardest to manage?
So right now I kind of really only do Instagram, and then I post things on like my personal LinkedIn about the show. And then every once in a while, if I have a really good episode, I'll post it on my personal Facebook for people to see. But I think Instagram is definitely the hardest platform to manage. And I think that this is for literally everyone, because Instagram changes every single day, because Instagram is this platform where they are just a copycat platform of every other platform. It was, Reels started because people were going over to TikTok. Stories started because people were posting Snapchat stories. Instagram just pulls everything from other platforms. And so every day on Instagram, it might be, oh, your feed is chronological now. Oh, no, it's not chronological anymore. We're actually just going to promote creators that use these new tools. But actually, if you take your TikTok and then you post it on Instagram, we're not going to promote that, because we'll see the little TikTok watermark, and we don't want that. So Instagram is the most confusing platform to actually go get popular on, because it changes every single day.
That's good to know. So as someone who works in PR, how do you navigate different algorithms? Obviously, I mean, no one really knows the algorithm or fully understands the algorithm, because that's $1 billion secret. But how do you navigate algorithms? Because it's next to impossible.
And the only thing that I have learned about navigating the algorithms is that the only thing that I can really be in control of is consistency. I cannot control what they're going to push day to day, but I can control the idea that if I post once a week, or if I post 2 times a week, or however many times a week I post, as long as I am consistent with what I am doing, something is going to get out there.
Now, your content is not by any means controversial, but are you at all concerned about social media censorship for your content in particular? I'm not talking like politics here.
Um, yeah, it's definitely something that everything can be construed in one way or another.
Mhm.
And especially, I feel like during COVID, everything was so sensitive, or even now, it's like if you post a photo of you at a concert, people are going to be like, well, did you get tested before the concert?
Yeah.
And like, you're never going to please everyone. And so the biggest thing I've learned is just like, you have to be true to who you are. And as long as you're true to who you are, maybe you won't have a million followers, but the people that are following you are going to be interested in what you have to say.
Mm. Are you on TikTok?
I am.
I refuse. TikTok scares me. All right, like I'm not good at I'm good at making content, right? I'm good at making podcasts, I'm good at cutting clips, I'm good at whatever, audio. I'm like, I look at TikTok and I go, how do these people make these things? I don't understand. I'm not that old. I'm turning 27 in February, right?
Yeah.
I'm not that old. I should be able to figure it out, but it's a mystery to me.
So the biggest thing with TikTok is that the TikTok algorithm really likes someone with a super duper duper specific niche. So, for example, I stand there and I can post funny videos about my life, but it's not specific. And I always say, I'm like, my niche on TikTok was being a dumb bitch, but apparently that's not niche enough for TikTok.
There's plenty of dumb bitches out there.
Right. So then my friend goes out there and she's like, I love Greta Van Fleet. And she's like, I am just going to post TikToks about Greta Van Fleet. And all of a sudden she has like 2,000 followers. And I'm like, I don't understand.
Huh. I am learning. Okay. What's the secret of Facebook? I'm just gonna keep digging here. I'm learning so much.
Honestly, I don't understand Facebook, and Facebook is gonna die one day. But I think the biggest thing on Facebook that people can do is get into groups. And I think that's what you have to do on Facebook is get in groups and promote to a specific niche on there. It's all about the niche.
I will with Twitter. I just picture Twitter's like this. Dartboard, help me, please. That's how I picture Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter is kind of, I think Twitter is kind of just all about being authentic.
I don't know. There's a lot of fake people, figuratively and literally on Twitter.
Yeah, but the thing with Twitter is that you don't build a following on Twitter. You're like a one-hit wonder on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, that one thing goes viral. You get that one thing with 10,000 likes, and you're like, oh, loyalty. What about YouTube?
Yeah, and then your next post gets like no likes.
What about YouTube? Speaking of YouTube, that YouTube algorithm, you gotta be corporate media, I know. But other than that, what's the secret of YouTube?
Secret of YouTube is number one, to be consistent, and number two, to hop on trends. And I think that is kind of how back in like 2014, how beauty gurus became so popular was that beauty gurus started doing tags. So they'd be like, this is the Winterlicious tag, and they'd answer a bunch of questions about winter. And then you could search up Winterlicious, and there'd be a million different videos about it. And so the biggest thing with YouTube is hopping on trends.